The flames of ambition burn brighter than ever. Merrick reaps the rewards of his growing dominion, but his gaze now turns east, not to marvel at Valyria like last time, but to rebuild it from ash and shadow. Whispers on the wind speak of a plague to the west, a deathless terror creeping toward Dorne, unstoppable and unknown. And as the world teeters, Merrick's legacy must be secured, alliances forged, heirs positioned. The future must be shaped before the storm arrives. Welcome back once again. Merrick is now 36 years of age, and I think realistically our primary focus at the moment is going to be building up in order for us to actually restore a ruin over here in Valyria. And in the meantime, I may also rotate soon into diplomacy to try and get the 10,000 prestige we need in order to fabricate a claim on one of the dragon eggs and see if we can get that into our family, and then we can focus on hatching it. Previously, we were snubbed by King Gaiman when we went to petition him. He wouldn't even see us. We are going to try again this time. I'm not going to ask him to grant us a council seat, as he currently loves just putting us in and out of council seats left, right, and center. So I think instead we could urbanize a county to possibly try and have him build a city like we did previously, or we try and have him support our house claim. Our house claim currently, if we look at this title, is at about 10%. Now, when we become a legitimate house, I'm not entirely sure what bonuses that actually gives us. From reading this, it seems as though the main benefit is that we get an ancestral claim to it. It does say we find it easier to manage the respective realm. I'm not sure what that looks like in terms of mechanics, and that also means that we will see additional support should we ever lose it. And we have no plans to lose it. We're currently already coming up on 11%, so I could ask him for that. But I think instead I will actually have him urbanize a county, see if we can ideally fill one of these holding slots inside of the Broken Elbow. Since we're holding on to this anyway, as this is what holds our actual trade port that we're trying to level up in order to get ourselves over to Valyria. If I remember right, before we do that, we actually have to upgrade our castle again, which is going to set us back around 2.3 thousand gold. So we are going to stay in stewardship for the time being to see if we can get that gold together. But for now, let's head over and see if we can have our actual king urbanize a county for us. On the way to the capital, we've once again come across a swordsman here, Clayton Vorley, who wants to duel us. We can say, sure, we'll give it a go. 89% chance we gain Aspiring Blade Master, which would be very nice. And we do win 75 prestige, and we've gained Aspiring Blades Master. It's kind of incredible that we somewhat had written off ever becoming decent in terms of martial since we were club-footed, and yet I actually think that thus far Merrick is arguably the best swordsman we've ever played as. Oh, and Uros has come of age as well. 16 years of age. How have you turned out, my friend? Trained fighter, knight, pensive, fortune builder, craven. Now that's one we hate to see. Diligent, vengeful, and trusting is all well and good. Craven is not great at all though. The decrease to martial and prowess is not fantastic at all. The courtly and gloryhound vassals don't like it, and it's also a sin. I wouldn't mind Craven as much if Uros was very decent in either, say, stewardship or diplomacy, but he's still fairly average there, so it's frustrating that he's somewhat going to make for a rather poor commander as well as fighter, and he's not really making up for it anywhere else. But when we play as Uros, it may be the first time that we actually have to rotate away slightly from being that good of a commander ourselves, which might not hurt a ton. If we stay focused on actually restoring a ruin in Valyria as Merrick with building up the gold that we need, Uros might be a decent character to actually build up the 10,000 prestige that we need. But then again, he is a fortune builder, so he's going to be back into stewardship once again. We'll see, we'll see. Also, I'm not sure if it's because I landed him while he was still being raised, but he doesn't seem to have actually changed culture. He is still stone Dornish. He did not pick up the Westerosi Valyrian that we were hoping for. The issue with marrying into the Targaryens again, however, is they are a very male-dominated family at the moment. If we look at the heir, Meleys, we are related to his wife, who is our aunt, Viella Targaryen, but all of his children are currently dead. If we look at Gaiman's other children, such as Prince Aethan here, he only so far has boys being born, all our cousins. And then the youngest son, Magon here, is a dragon rider, but is also only 12, so no children yet either. The Valyrians aren't in much better shape than the Targaryens, to be honest. Currently, Lord Maynard the Mad Seahorse is in control. He's 53 years old, both of his children are dead, he's a Familian Killslayer and in terrible health conditions. Seems like his heir will most likely be his regent, Lord Baelor Valerian Rosby. We could attempt to marry off his sister here, Daenerys Valerian, who's 12 years old, but that would leave Uros rather exposed in terms of alliances when he comes to power. And given that we are now a Lord Paramount, we can't really afford to not be in a stable position when our heir comes to power here. But at the same time, it doesn't make sense after all of this time trying to get dragon blood and Valyrian blood into the family to now suddenly abandon that when we're closer than we've ever been to getting a dragon into the family. A marriage we could actually go for. Now granted, we would be getting away from the idea of any Valyrian blood in the family, but we could actually marry Lady Benye Stark of the North here, which would give us an alliance with the North and their 42,000 men. I feel like Merrick would understand the importance of having an alliance of that strength, particularly with how the Vale helped him keep control of his realm to begin with, and given the position that Uros will be when he comes to power as the first Starfell heir to inherit Dorne, I really feel like we can't skimp on the alliances here. Okay, we can't see him because it's blocked by an icon, but he is at least in the court now. After listening to my speech, he frowns and rebuffs me. I apologize, but for the good of the Iron Throne, I must refuse your request. 75 prestige to try and convince him, or we can say alas, but he'll lose opinion of us anyway. Let's try and convince him. Oh boy, this is not looking good. The best chance we have is 25%. I don't think this is gonna happen. King Gaiman is unconvinced. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. We can't expect our lead to just always build up our realm for us. There is something else we could do for an injection of cash, and that is actually peruse the artifacts market. I'm happy to sell some of these antelope hides, especially the ones that are low in terms of durability. Oh, never mind. We can only sell one artifact per year. Okay, good to know. Let's do this more on cooldown because honestly, rather than just filling up our court with hides, I would be more than happy to sell some of those off and just really keep the good ones. Oh, this is actually incredibly interesting. I was looking through the Targaryens again just to see if I missed anybody even in the extended family that would give us like an alliance as well as a marriage for Uros. Have a look at who Daemon Targaryen is betrothed to. Serene Dayne. The Danes are still making moves in the world. Okay, you know what? I understand that I might regret this, but realistically, while we're closer than ever before to dragons, we're not exactly right around the corner. I think for now, I am going to marry Uros off to Benye Stark here for the 42,000 men through an alliance with the North. We will get an alliance with Lord Cain, the White Wolf Stark. Now, we don't really care too much about the alliance right now, but it'll be very important for Uros when he actually comes to power. Since we've unlocked the ability to host an inspection, I think we may as well do this as well. There's a chance that we'll gain claims, offer vassalation acceptance, taxes, development, control, levies, opinion, or popular opinion. Why not? Let's head over to Pronghorn here and see what we can make of this. We paid 213 gold in order to fund this. Hopefully we can get a return on our investment. Well, let me tell you something, folks. That was not worth it at all. We did get adjusted taxes for 10 years, but that's just holding taxes for Pronghorn that we don't even control. So whatever, we'll finish our inspection. Let's maybe not do that again. I do think it has the potential to be powerful, but I think it makes more sense to do inspections in our own lands rather than our vassals' lands. On the way back, me and Felix got into an argument. I ended up wounding him in a duel, and now he's left our court. He's just out wandering. Let me pin you. I'll see what happens. If we need him back, we can always just invite him back. Well, at least for now, but let's see what he ends up getting up to. We do also have dangerous factions here. So one of them is safeguarding us. Who's in this, actually? Oh, quite a few people are safeguarding us. Things you love to see, but we do have two that want to lower the Crown Authority. Not to mention, Lady Leonette here is still in this faction by herself to put herself back in control of Dorne. Either she'll fire and we'll just deal with her, or eventually she'll go through never pressing her claim, and then the actual claim that she has on Dorne should pass, assuming that her heir doesn't try to press it either. Our daughter Mabel Starfell has also come of age. This is the daughter that did unfortunately also inherit the club-footedness, but she did also inherit the ability to be a skilled fighter, has very decent prowess at 16. She would also accept Dawn, not because she's worthy, but because she's arrogant and ambitious. Oh, here we go. Blossoming hatred. Merrick is not happy with the fact that Felix has wandered off by himself and left the court. Critical stress break if we choose to not let vengeance rule my life, so instead, we are going to get driven by vengeance, and he will become our rival. Another one of our aunts has died. Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen is dead, and her beast, Grey Ghost, is now without the guidance of a rider. 866 gold there by requesting gold from our head of faith. Thank you very much. We're not doing much with piety at the moment anyway. Oh, another death of a dragon rider. Our other aunt, Vermithor, the Bronze Fury, is also now without the guidance of a rider. I am very curious where these dragons will end up, to be honest with you. All of her children are dead. She was a dragon rider. Presumably, Gaiman will just take them back to the dragon pit. And then it's going to be up to Maelys when he inherits the Iron Throne for what he's going to do with them. Whoa, look at King Gaiman. I didn't even know who this was for a second. Where did that beard come from? King Gaiman, the Anointed Targaryen. Holy. All these wars later and he's still fighting against pirates in the Stepstones. An interesting character here is actually Princess Alyssa Targaryen. She's 38 years old and she's the leader of the Mere Bandits Adventurer Band, but despite only having 88 men, she does also have a dragon. I was having a look though, and in terms of marriages, she does have one daughter, unlikely to be the one that actually picks up this dragon, and the daughter has just been born, 0 years of age and also sickly. It does look like Gaiman's final days are closing in though, 61 years of age in poor health, and is now power sharing with Maelys. Princess Visera Targaryen has just taken flight on Greyfire here, a marriage or betrothal we would have loved to have picked up with Uros, but the Targaryens don't mess around, and she was instantly betrothed off to her brother. The bank is still doing absolutely nothing but losing share value here. Another year, another minus 2.6 thousand net profit. Now, my other son, Michael, has also come of age here. Very decent character, charismatic negotiator, is lustful, which I won't complain about. Who do you want to marry you off to? This will likely also end up being an alliance that is relevant for Uros as well. The Lannisters, maybe? Get an alliance with both the North and the Lannisters? I don't see any issue with that. Another 34,000 troops, let's do it. Now, interestingly, we're not actually wearing armor at the moment, and the Dane male is currently held by Alicia Starfell here, so I might actually challenge her for that artifact. Here we go. Now, it's a non-lethal duel, but we should be fine. And of course, we are victorious. Tremendous. We have gained the Dane male. Let's actually repair this quickly, and then we'll put it on ourselves. I do feel like I'm maybe not utilizing Dawn to the best of its abilities. Like, theoretically, I know that I could just claim it anyway myself, or try and find somebody worthy of giving it to, but it's difficult outside of raising somebody to be Sword of the Morning to find somebody who's truly eligible. But I think Merrick thus far has proven that he will only actually wield it if he is worthy. He was raised that way by his father. 42 prowess. Surely he's worthy, actually. I mean, I think we are, and I think it makes sense, but we are trying to save up prestige to get that dragon egg. We're not going to do it for now, but I think with future characters, if they have the traits necessary to claim it, even if they're not worthy, they may be more tempted. Ooh, and our wife, Lady Aria, the Silver Dragon Targaryen, is putting in work for us here. Benja Stark is officially of age, and I think it is time for another grand wedding. I think whenever it's reasonable to do this for our primary heir, it makes sense. It definitely stood to us a ton with the buffs that we got from it, as well as the fact that our wife became our instant soulmate. So let's do it. We'll send this proposal, and I think we'll have, I think it's a year to actually host this grand wedding. 3 years, actually. Perfect. Not a problem at all. Now, we could petition the king again, but to be honest, I sort of want Gaiman to die. We've been swaying Meleys this whole time, so he absolutely loves us. The second he's in power, we'll be petitioning him for everything. I also think that it could be worthwhile trying to pass High Crown Authority just for the extra increase to our actual tax contribution. This will obviously annoy a ton of our vassals, but realistically, if a massive faction comes wanting us to lower it, we can just accept. I'm going to pass this law for now. I know it's close to 1,000 prestige, and we are trying to save up on prestige, but gold will help a ton as well. Here we go. Let's plan this grand wedding. Of course, inside of Starfall. We don't need mountaineers for this. We're staying at home. Let's max out the wedding venue so we can pick up Magnificent Host. We'll max out the food and drinks, but acrobats and musicians are fine for entertainment. It is a beautiful day, and my son Uros is officially married to Lady Benya Stark. It looks like I actually officiated the wedding as well. Now then, no major issues at the wedding. We managed to rub shoulders a bit with these Starks as well. They seem like nice people. Nothing bad ever happens to them. We've gained 800 prestige, Magnificent Host, and 115 gold. Thank you all for coming. Let's finish this grand wedding, and that is Uros taken care of. Meanwhile, we have another dynasty legacy to choose from. I think I'll actually go for a renowned name here inside of Glory for that extra monthly prestige, which will be quite nice. We do also get cheaper mercenaries, some court grandeur, and more accolades as well. I've gained the nickname The Greedy. You know what? That's fair enough. Merrick has been very focused on getting that income lately, so that's fine. Oh, there it is. Death of a Dragon Rider. King Gaiman of the Iron Throne has died, and his dragon Mount Dweller is now without the guidance of his rider. Our new liege is now King Meleys of the Iron Throne, immediately attacked by Pirate Lord Akard. We will wait until this war is over, but then we will definitely be heading north to petition the king once again. 66 years of age though. I feel like Gaiman has been the king forever. Oh god, what is this? Why is the plague symbol glowing red like that? Oh, it's the Great Spring Sickness, an apocalyptic plague that's broken out just to the left of us over here. Okay, we'll keep a very close eye on this. Hopefully it spreads slowly, but I feel like it'll spread rather quickly. There's also another plague over here to the right of us, the Cold Humor Flu. Oh, this is interesting. Outside of just secluding ourselves or isolating the capital, we can actually isolate the realm. Restrict travel into your realm and prevent apocalyptic plague spread. That seems like a good idea, but most of the times where I've tried to preemptively isolate myself for plagues in this run, it never even reached us. Let's see, I'll keep an eye on it, and if it starts to get close, we'll do this. Oh boy, I press play, and that immediately spread like crazy. Okay, let's immediately isolate the realm, please. Oh, look how quickly this is... Oh my word. I'm only on speed 3. To be fair though, with how quickly it's spreading up here, it does seem like isolating the realm worked very well. It's almost our exact border that it's not spreading to. Decision available to pay homage. Yep, I don't think we're going to be doing that though, because that would require traveling through all of this. God knows what is going on here. The Great Spring Sickness has currently killed 390 people and continues to spread rapidly. Moving into the Stormlands next, and eventually into the capital itself. I'm leaving, father. Me and Fiona are in love. I roll my eyes at Michael. What is my fool of a son up to now? Fiona and I will seek adventure. The world is vast and there is glory to be found. I wish to shout, the stars remember at the world until it remembers my name. It is evident that my beloved son is being serious. I'm going to have to do something. Michael, you're betrothed to Lady Catelyn Lannister of the Westerlands. You are supposed to be locking in our alliance with the Lannisters. I could attempt to duel him to make him stay, not to the death, thankfully. Let's do that. We should be able to beat him. Father versus son. For the love of God, please don't accidentally kill each other. And once again, we are victorious because we have ridiculously good prowess. Prisoner falls ill with spring sickness. Let the prisoners go immediately. Okay, so for context, this is Dorne's borders right here, and if we look at the plague, it is everywhere else. It's killed over 1,000 people already. Greetings, my impressive vassal. It's the king. It is with great honor and anticipation that I, Meleys of House Targaryen, king of the Andals, the Rhoynar, and the First Men, lord of the Seven Kingdoms, and protector of the realm, extend this invitation to you. The auspicious occasion of my coronation is set to take place in King's Landing at the Red Keep. How is anybody supposed to get to your coronation through all of this? Oh boy, I can't say no as it's a crime, we'll send somebody in our place, the poor soul. Oh god, it has to be from our family, either our wife, our niece, or our son Bastian. This feels like an absolute death sentence. I'm gonna send my niece. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. Oh, my son has died of the spring sickness. Where were you, though? If you're my son, you should have been in the capital. How did you even pick this up? Rest in peace, little Aros. The king wants to make me master of coin to the Iron Throne. We will accept. Hopefully you won't immediately revoke it off us the way your father did, because you actually like us. So this year in the bank, nobody didn't pay their loan, and we're still somehow 200 in the negative. Spring sickness is so aggressive that even when some of the counties recover, they just immediately end up infected again. Okay, so we are now at 2,000 gold. I've actually managed to get the cost of increasing the castle down in Broken Elbow here to just 1,400 gold. Thankfully, this is largely due to our industrial mills, which is taking the building and holding construction costs down. Let's immediately upgrade this, and then in 20 months, we'll focus on upgrading the trade port again, and that will be all the prerequisites finished to actually start restoring some ruins over in Valyria, which at this point we may need to move our entire realm to, because there'll be nobody left north of us. It looks like the Great Spring Sickness might actually be starting to break. It managed to hit 4,000 fatalities, and it's still not finished, but it looks like it might actually be starting to dissipate now. Now, what I'm also going to do here is marry my daughter, Lady Willa Starfell of Dorne, off to Jaime Nymeros Martell here. This will give us an alliance with the Martell, so that means that the faction shouldn't be an issue anymore. And we're also going to make this matrilineal, so we'll actually try and have even less of the Martells around to help our legitimacy. And incredibly, our niece that we sent to the capital has made it back unharmed. A dragon enters the world. Visenion here, bonded with Hagon the Beautiful Targaryen, our cousin actually, which is interesting. Meanwhile, the Great Spring Sickness is finally coming to its true end, with a final death count of over 5,000. At long last, we have enough gold to get our trade port up to level 6. Once this finishes, we'll need 400 gold, and we can immediately start restoring a ruin in Old Valyria. Oh, this is incredible. I'm going to have my other son, Lord Cyrus here, marry Lady Ellen Baratheon of the Stormlands. There it is, with the alliance locked in with the Stormlands. Oh, another dragon enters the world with Prince Rhaegar here. With the alliance with the Stormlands locked in, we are now allied with the Stormlands, the Westerlands, the Vale, and the North. So I think when Uros comes to age and we die, it'll be a sad day, but Uros should be fine in terms of alliances at the very least. There it is. The shipyards are built. We have over 1,000 gold. The question is, where do we start our restoration? I mean, why not in the heart of Valyria itself? Inside of this holding, we will get insignificant remnants of the wall. We can't currently upgrade it, but presumably we could rebuild it. The most important thing, though, is we would get Tartarax here, which is a duchy building that acts as a natural dragon pit. Now, this is incredible because this actually increases our holding taxes, whereas if we were to build one, it would just be a drain on our resources. So let's absolutely restore these ruins. Restoring ruins is an arduous, expensive, and sometimes dangerous endeavor. Are you sure you want to begin undertaking the restoration process? The initial investment will require 600 gold. Yes, I am sure. Oh, okay, we just immediately take control of it. Presumably, it's going to be in pieces for the time being. Now, it does count towards our domain holdings, so while I hate to do it, I might want to grant Astermine away here for the time being. I'll hand this off to Michael for now. He can take care of it for us. And that leaves us in control of Valyria, which currently gives us nothing, which is to be expected, but we should have access to a dragon pit now? Yes, we do. So no dragons, no eggs, and no authorized tamers yet, but we now officially have access to a dragon pit, which is tremendous. Okay, so inside of Valyrios here, we can't construct any holdings at the moment. I think we have to start off by actually upgrading what we have. So let's start off nice and simple with the actual ruins themselves. We can pay 500 gold to get these to level 2, and they'll start to actually give us some levies and garrison. It will give us -4 tax a month, however. At the maximum level, where it's actually restored, it goes to -6 gold a month. So I'm very happy that Merrick was down the stewardship focus and got us all the way up to 43 gold a month here. We're going to need it. How funny is that, though, looking over Valyria and just seeing Dorne in the middle of it? With the plague finally dying down, let's actually go and petition our king. I'm going to once again try to urbanize a county here. The more tax, the better, especially now with those ruins being a drain on our resources. Let's start traveling. Do let me know in the comments how we should handle Valyria. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what we really want to do over here yet. I mean, obviously just building it up and restoring Valyria itself is fantastic, but is there a certain point where we actually move our capital over here? Try and actually hold the actual titles in here? Maybe even make the Empire of Valyria itself and get away from Dorne? Let me know what you think would be most interesting. I think long-term something like this would be very, very interesting, but we could also just try and play inside of Dorne while building it up. It will just create an issue in terms of actually handing vassals out over here. I think expecting them to start upgrading the ruins is probably unlikely. Now, Lord Baratheon of the Stormlands here has called us in to help defend him in a Liberty War. We will, of course, accept. He may actually need our help here. 50,000 troops, that's including us though. You take away our 22,000, starts to look a lot more balanced. Let's give it a second. I don't want to raise all my troops and go over there if he's just going to steamroll them anyway, but if he starts hurting, then we'll send the boys over. Non-ideal that we're now traveling through war-torn lands, however. Okay, you know what? I think the Baratheons may actually need some help over here. It's been quite a while since we've raised up our armies, but let's do it. They're not even that well built out, to be honest. Most of them are still like 1 out of 12 or 2 out of 12. We can even create a new one as well. I just don't want all my income to go away because we need it to actually restore Valyria. Meleys passes on. The Red Queen is dead. Oh, amazing. Amazing. Thanks for that, my friend. You're not even at war and you refuse to see me even though you have 100 opinion of me. The dream of just leaving Dorne and going to Valyria grows bigger every day. Although, ironically, he'd still have more dragons than me over here, even with me in Valyria. At least for now, though. Tried to help out the Baratheons over here, and they have no interest in it. With their troops, we could probably easily take this, but nope, they're leaving me to it. Fair enough. Once we leave this war, we'll be packing up and heading home. Are those Lannister men in the army? They are. The Lannisters are working with the rebels against the Baratheons. Interesting. We're going to retreat and just immediately head home. I have no interest in fighting in this if they're not going to help out. Okay, fine, fine. I know the AI are stupid. I won't hold it against them. I'll at least move close to them, and if they get attacked, I'll help them out. Oh, restoring Valyria is gonna take a while. 10 years just to actually get the ruins to level 2. Another dragon rider is dead. Prince Viserys of the Stepstones, Moonfire, now also without the guidance of his rider. If all of these dragons want to just take a nice trip down to Valyria, we have a lovely, cozy, natural dragon pit for them. All are welcome. Oh, Lady Willa, who we'd betrothed off to Jaime here of Nymeros Martell, no longer valid. Jaime Nymeros Martell is dead. He had spotted fever. Rest in peace. No way. Hannibal passes on. This was one of the most fearsome dragons ever, 198 years of age. After all of this fighting, and now Cyrus doesn't even want to marry Ellen Baratheon. Now, you know what? Too bad. You're marrying her. I don't care. Shout out to Lord Guy Caswell of Bitterbridge, still doing amazing with the bank. Only minus 2,000 this year. You're doing tremendous, my friend. Oh god, all of our alliances are falling apart. Now our alliance with the Lannisters is invalidated because Valar the Worthy is dead. This is why it was so important to me to make sure that I actually married Uros off to somebody that would give him an alliance, because at least, even if all of our other ones break away, he's still not screwed. He still has that alliance with the North. Well, despite my best efforts, the rebels sieged down the capital and then immediately attacked my army as well as the Baratheons, instantly deleting both of them, and the war was over. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I've been replaced as the dynasty head? Lady Illyria, the brave Dane of the Forest Manticore. The goddamn Forest Manticores have been the bane of my existence this run. Lady Ines and the Forest Manticores refuse to go away. What makes you a better house head than me, though? You're just an adventurer band. Is it because I lost a war? Never mind, it's all good. It was just a momentary lapse in judgment by the game. We're back in control. I've instead decided to marry my daughter off to Andrio Draz here, because he is also scaly, she is club-footed and half-blind, so I don't know what type of abomination is going to come out of them, to be honest. Once again, though, I think it is time to leave this episode here. Super excited to finally be over here and restoring some ruins in Valyria. I highly suspect we will get some more events out of this as we continue to expand. I'm kind of hoping for it, to be honest, but very nice that we also officially now have a natural dragon pit. We're at 7,000 prestige, not that far to go until we can start actually claiming some dragon eggs. And then from there, we are significantly closer to actually, for real, getting a dragon into House Starfell. We have become the Lord Paramount of Dorne. We have started to restore the ruins of old Valyria, and we are now on the brink of actually getting some dragons into our dynasty, which hopefully we can do sooner rather than later, because thus far all notifications have been the death of dragons and dragon riders. Let's get some eggs and let's get some dragons going as soon as possible.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to like and subscribe. A massive shout out to all of our channel members helping to support the channel and everything that I do here. And as always, a very special shout out to our Emperor's Hands tier, Faustbread and Batch Plays. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.